Hello everyone, welcome back. It's April 5th, 2021, and this is part one in my series of videos on how to keep deer and rabbits out of your garden or orchard. It's a question that I've heard quite a bit. It's something that we all wrestle with as gardeners and orchardists. So I thought I would show you this product here that I use for my garden. So I've got a couple of different strategies. That's why I kind of broke these up into a couple of different videos. But this is how I keep deer out of my vegetable garden, deer and rabbits both. I use the Sta Green Wildlife Netting. So let me take you outside and show you what it looks like installed.
Before we get outside, here are a couple of images and videos just to show that we have quite a deer issue on our property. So if these things work for us, I assume should work for pretty much anybody. Here's one walking through our orchard really close to the house. Here's an image from our security camera. In a second, in the backyard. In a second, you're going to see a video also from the same security camera. We have the Blink security system, so you're going to hear me in my best creepy deer scaring voice using the talk feature to scare a deer away. So that's a lot of fun, by the way. If you have those, just put a couple kind of in more remote parts of your yard to monitor for critters. So they're security, but they're also kind of deer and rabbit monitoring. So enjoy.
Hey, get out of there.
And here's our garden. That's installed around our garden. Now notice you can't see it. I'll keep walking closer, 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 and now it becomes visible. So that's one of the big pluses of this particular product is, you know, from any distance, even a few feet away, you can't even see that netting is all around our garden. And just to prove it, you know, there we are. We back up, it kind of disappears. So I like that about it quite a bit. Number one. Number two, it's cheap, which is good and bad. I mean, the good part of it is that it only costs $20 for a 100-foot roll. Our garden, I'm not sure the exact dimensions because I've expanded a few times for our container gardening space, but our garden is about 25 feet on each side, give or take. It's a little bigger because a 100-foot roll doesn't do our whole garden. I think it's 25 this way and like 28 that way or something. It was mostly to fit the space. So, and I've kind of added on the space last year where these 30-gallon pots are and that 50-gallon with the apricot in it. But one roll is $19 at Lowe's. It's economical, so I said it's good and bad. That's good, but also you're going to probably have to put it up every single year if you live where there's snow, because in the winter it just gets destroyed with the snow and the ice and everything. It's not super heavy duty, but that's not how it works. So the way it works is a lot of animals like deer and rabbits are kind of, I don't know if it's nearsighted or farsighted, but they have trouble seeing things that are very close to their face. That's why they use their sense of smell to feed so much. That's what we're taking advantage of in video 2 with the liquid fence spray. They feed through their sense of smell primarily. So if you're a deer, imagine you're walking up on all the delicious vegetables. You keep walking, walking, walking. You don't see this, and then boom, something just hits your face and you don't know what it is, and then they're gone. Same thing with rabbits. So this is really effective. This is the 5th year coming up that we've lived here. We've used it every single year. We've never had any deer in the garden. And we only had one rabbit get in the garden because I left the door open. So I'm going to show how I install this. And then the thing was trapped in there. We were trying to corral it out the open door, but they can't see this stuff. So it would run and jump and bounce off and fall into the garden and get up and keep doing that. And finally it went out the door, but it just goes to show they can't see this. And so that's an advantage of it. Plus, then it doesn't look like you have anything around your garden just for your own landscaping purposes. It looks nice in that respect as well. So I'll just give you a quick tour. What I do is this year I added this landscape fabric. It's kind of a buffer zone, so I have some 6-foot T-posts. They're in the ground a couple of feet, so to extend the height, because this stuff is 7 feet tall, this netting, I put some of these furring strips and just zip tied them against it. It's nice and sturdy. and that gives you a little bit extra height to hook this onto. So the T-post holds the furring strip, and then that holds the netting. So I just put those around every 10-ish feet roughly, and then it's just stretched over. It's landscape pinned to the bottom. I've got this buffer zone here, so the T-post is about 6 inches in. What that does is when the grass grows, the first few years I didn't do this. I had this the grass grew right up to here, but then of course what happens, it grows right up through here, and there's really no way to cut it without cutting the netting. So by doing this, there's like a sort of a buffer zone here where when the grass gets tall here, I can weed whack right through here and not hit that netting, and then we have nothing growing in the netting. Then on the other side of the netting, there's about a foot of space until the garden actually starts in the ground. So I'm hoping that that helps with any weeds trying to intrude on the edge garden beds. So those are a couple features, and then a nice little finishing touch. It's starting to get dark. We just put these solar lights on each corner.
So this is the door. These bricks, I'll kind of cut in a little bit of the installation of the door. Basically, you just start on the left post of the door with the netting, go all the way around the garden until you get to the right post of the door, and then so you've got an empty space there, and then the door is one last piece. So I'll show how we go about doing that and how it works.
You can see there, we have it anchored. Now over here, becomes really easy, and I'll take this off the tripod. To close your door, pull her tight, hook it, pull it tight, hook it. You get to the bottom, and so this is where these bricks come in handy. It's like your lock. This keeps the bunnies out because the bunnies will go under. And so what you do, set it down, place a brick every foot or so, like that. And so there's your door. The bottom is held by bricks, and then you've stretched it right here. And I'll take some of this extra off. There's a bunch here, so I'll just trim that. But you want to leave a couple extra squares, because if you look here, if you tear the square out, you still want to have the squares next to it to work with. So I like to leave like 7 or 8 squares to the left of the screw. That way, if that tears out, you can just use this one or this one, you know. So we'll cut like here down. But there's the door.
Thank you for watching our Sta Green Wildlife Netting video. This is just part 1 in our series of videos on strategies and techniques that we use to keep deer and rabbits out of our gardens. So if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section below, and stay tuned for episode 2, where we talk about the liquid fence deer and rabbit spray. Thank you for watching.